Have you ever wondered how two people can start from the exact same place, face the same hurdles, but end up in completely different spots in life? It's a fascinating question, right? Well, this is a story all about that. It's a simple story about two friends, Salem and Yusuf, and it perfectly shows how the real game changer isn't what's happening around you, but what's happening inside you, your mindset. So let's dive into their story.
And boom, right out of the gate, you see the massive difference in how they looked at the world. For Salem, it's like he saw a giant, unscalable wall. He figured rich people got lucky or they cheated. But Yusuf, he saw the same thing and thought, okay, that's a mountain, but you can climb a mountain. It's a tough path for sure, but it leads somewhere. This one little difference in how they saw things, that's the seed for everything that's about to happen.
Okay, so to really get this, we've got to go back to the very beginning. Let's take a look at their shared start and see just how level the playing field really was for them.
And I mean, when we say identical, we are not kidding. They grew up in the same neighborhood, went to the same exact school, played on the same streets. Both of them were totally surrounded by poverty. There was no secret advantage here, no leg up for one of them. Their starting line was literally the same. So, what on earth could have made the difference?
All right, so if their environment wasn't the deciding factor, then the difference had to be something internal, right? Let's dig into those seeds of difference, the core beliefs that really put them on two totally separate tracks.
And wow, look at this breakdown. It just lays it all out. For Salem, money was nothing but a problem. Time was just something you had to endure. Knowledge? That was just for school. And failure? Oh, failure was the enemy, something to avoid no matter what. But then you look at Yusuf, and it's like he's living in a different reality. Money is a tool. Time is an asset. Knowledge is power. It's freedom. And failure? Well, that's just a lesson. It's experience.
So, okay, how do these different mindsets actually play out in their lives? Well, after school, Salem did what you might expect. He took the safe route, got a stable job, worked himself to the bone, and complained a lot. His whole philosophy was security is way more important than dreams. Yusuf, on the other hand, chose the path of growth. Now, he also got a simple job, but the difference was what he did with his time and his money. He poured it all back into himself, reading books, learning skills, saving up. His focus was totally different. It was all about, it's not about what I make, it's about what I do with what I make. You can already see how these little daily choices were steering them in different directions, right? But then comes this one single moment, an opportunity that lands in front of both of them. And this is where everything changes.
So, what happens when opportunity finally comes knocking? After all the talk, all the complaining from one side, and all the quiet work from the other, what do you do when a real choice, a big one, is sitting right in front of you?
Well, for Salem, the answer was instant. A friend comes to them with a little business idea and that fear-based thinking just takes over. Nope, businesses fail, everyone who tries loses. He didn't even really listen to the pitch. He just saw the risk, the potential to lose. And just like that, his fear slammed the door shut.
But Yusuf's reaction? It's the polar opposite. He sees the risk, sure, but he looks right past it to what he could gain. His thinking was, yeah, I might lose the money, but I'll gain experience. See that? Even if he failed, he'd still come out with something valuable. He knew that experience was an asset, something nobody could ever take from him. He chose growth. He chose a chance over comfort.
Okay, and here is the most important part of the story. Yusuf's big choice, it didn't lead to instant success, not even close. If you look at this timeline, year one, he fails. He loses all his savings. You can just imagine Salem on the sidelines thinking, see, told you so. But this is the key. What happens next? In year two, Yusuf doesn't give up. He learns from what went wrong, he makes changes, and he goes again. And by the time we hit year five, well, their lives look nothing alike.
So let's look at the scoreboard 5 years later. It's pretty stark. Salem, he's in the exact same place. Same job, same pay, same complaints. He's still just waiting for his luck to change. But Yusuf, he built a business. And look, the point isn't that he became a millionaire overnight. The point is he became free. His time belonged to him. His choices were his own. He was the one steering the ship.
So, what's the big takeaway here? Let's zoom out from Salem and Yusuf for a second and really break down this core lesson about mindset and what the true difference between poverty and wealth really is.
So eventually the two friends meet again, and Salem basically asks, how? What was the difference? And Yusuf's answer just cuts right to the chase. He says, the difference was never about the money, it was about mindset. You were looking for comfort, and I was looking for growth. You were afraid of losing something, and I was afraid of staying exactly where I was. And that's so powerful. It just flips the script from blaming the world to looking at your own internal compass.
So let's just boil this all down, okay? We're really talking about two basic ways of thinking. A poor mindset has nothing to do with how much money you have. It's a mindset that sees the obstacle first every single time. A rich mindset, again, isn't about your bank balance. It's about seeing the problem and immediately looking for the solution that's hiding inside of it.
And after hearing all this, Salem asks this quiet, almost heartbreaking question. It's a question a lot of us probably ask ourselves when we feel like we've been stuck for a while. He just asks, is it too late?
And Yusuf's answer is just perfect. It's not a simple yes or no. It's a challenge. He says, it's never too late unless you never begin. The power isn't in the past. It's not gone. The power is in the decision to start, right here, right now.
And really, that leaves all of us with one final question. This whole story is about one simple idea. Changing your thinking can literally change your life. So, the question isn't for Salem anymore, it's for you. What will you begin?